of there, but we want to focus on a particular group tonight that has been, shall we say, in one of the more remote parts of Australia. And there's a real story associated with it. There's this couple, Sarah and Max, or Max and Sarah, who are with us tonight and got started a while ago. And they're going to tell us their story. I'll just throw up a couple of photographs for them to comment on. And just in case you're wondering where they live, it's Charters Towers. And Charters Towers is just a short distance, probably about an hour and or almost 2 hours drive from Townsville, which is right on the coast. Lorraine was there recently, but over to you. Thanks very much, Sarah and Max. Just to get your commentary, I've got some photographs coming up on the next page, and of things that have been going on. So we had a few questions for you, but I think you've actually internalised those, and you're ready just to
I
speak.
don't know about internalize.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. Yeah. So the photo on the previous page was our last campaign, and Stephen attended the training with us. Yeah. But because he's got bad knees, so he's been staying and praying for us while we've been going out on the streets. And he even the first campaign we did after training with Lorraine, he spotted someone prospecting in one of the parks on the way in and said, "Oh, he'd be good to talk to." And we actually did end up sharing the full presentation with him. But Tracy in that photograph is next to Stephen and with a jacket on. She's new to training. She's a fairly new Christian. She's come back to God. She actually went out with Lorraine when we had the training, so she really knows how to do it properly. And she's very keen, isn't she?
Very
Yeah,
much so.
very consistent. Yeah, she's great. Then we have Arthur in the middle, our minister, who's
Isn't
retired.
that great to have your
Yeah,
pastor out with you?
yeah. And going back on the record, it's been quite a few years he's been involved. He is retiring at the end of the year, but he and his wife are going to live in town. So I think he'll
Okay,
still be involved in the way of life, which is exciting.
isn't
And
it?
then Barbara, who is next to me on the far right, she joined towards the end of last year. At the time, she was waiting for a knee replacement, so she did struggle. But since then, she's had a knee replacement and she's been out a few times. Yeah, no, she's very keen. Yeah.
Wow, wonderful. And look, just a great lineup, and we'll get further comment from you. But when did you actually start getting
Well,
involved?
we did our training. We heard you on the radio, and then it was a little while later when we did our train. So we heard you on radio with Vision, and then a bit later we did the training, bringing others to Jesus webinar. Actually on phones, although it's not recommended. It was a busy time with life at home, and we actually got to go away in the September 21. So we thought, right, we have fewer interruptions, and my phone didn't work, but Max's did. So September 21, and then we started attending the Raw prayer meetings and then some Arise ones, depending on the time that worked well, and then these Zoom meetings.
Mm.
But we didn't get the courage up to go out until February 22.
Wow.
We started in the parks. Some of that was the stand in the parks, which was happening on a Sunday due to COVID with the people who lost their jobs and that. Someone else from church had been going there. She lost her job, but she was actually trying to bring something positive to that group.
Yes, yes,
And
keep
we've
talking.
actually, yeah, that was our first time. I'm still in touch with the lady I met there, and we're doing bringing others to Jesus Bible study with her. She's become a good friend. And then we didn't start going up the street until shortly before Roger came in November 22. We thought we've got to get the courage up. We've got to go up the street before he comes, because we're going to have to do that then. But so on the photo on the left there at the
Hang
top.
on, I
Oh, sorry,
this has got a mind of its own tonight, this thing,
that's
but
all right.
keep talking.
There's a lady, Lisa, there. She came out with us a few times. She runs our Bible study group. So over the years, she's been praying for us anyway. Then Max, myself, and Arthur again. He's got his green t-shirt by now. Then in the middle at the top, there's Bill from WA. He came in 23 and then he's visited again recently. So he's come out with us twice and we met his lovely wife, Vicky. Top right, Joanne came in February. That was great timing for her. She was in Mount Isa, so she came a long way. but we'd had a few dry times going out there and praying, but not actually encountering anyone. And we had a really good day with her, which was really great. And then bottom left, we've got Michael with the beard. He's left town now. He didn't get to no, he'd left before
He did.
Lorraine came, unfortunately. He's down in Brisbane now, but he joined towards the end of last year. Barbara at the front, then Max, myself. Bottom in the middle, there's Arthur, Michael, and Max. They have markets, lots of markets in town, but that was at a new development called Gold Tower in town. They had them on a Friday evening. We went there in November and December. We didn't get to share with many people, more pray with people and Christians being aware that we're out there. It's included later, but I can just mention it now. The fellow who is doing that development is a Christian. He's very keen that people have opportunities to be witnessed to. So he does want us to be more involved with the markets, more present out there, witnessing,
Yes.
and which is great. And also he has ideas for reaching the youth, and the church is being involved running that on a Friday at the market. So we're looking into that more for next year with what's happening this year with us. So that's encouraging. And then the group in the middle on the right, that was after going out with Lorraine. We'd had our team leader training the afternoon before, then our bringing others to Jesus teaching that morning. And then 6 of us went out, which was the biggest number so far, which was great. Then we had the opportunity to meet Tony. Max and I and a couple of others had met Tony a few years ago. And then we just had short notice, didn't we, Tony? One afternoon.
That's right.
The
Yes,
next morning. And all but 2 came. And one of them was in Canada and the other one was away. And the one who was away had come to training with Lorraine, and she'd gone off with the Christian Motorbike Association with her 12 cards to hand out along the way. But yeah, that's most of our new group who trained. John and Queenie haven't been out with us yet, but they're still keen.
There's John.
Yeah.
There's Queenie. Yeah.
And there's another John who Max shared with after church shortly before Lorraine came. He's a leader with AA, so he was very impressed with the presentation and wants to use it with some of the people he reaches through AA.
Boy,
He does
that's
bring some
exciting.
to church already, so that's good. But he's away at the moment. Yeah. So
let me just ask you a quick question. What was it that actually prompted you in the first place to get going? I know you heard the message on the radio.
Yes.
What was it about that, or what spiritually was happening in yours and Max's life that actually inspired you to want to get involved in this form of reaching others for Christ?
I suppose it's that tug, that you want to share, but you're just not quite sure. And there's always that yearning to talk about God and talk about Jesus in some situations. And you do share about your own experiences, but to actually just physically just produce something that you can and go through the whole gospel just makes things so much easier, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's so explanatory without you trying to explain it. At the end of the day.
Yeah, it's quite extraordinary to have had this cavalcade of Southern visitors, and
we're so blessed in that respect.
but God must be planning something, because I just happened to be up there seeing my son in Townsville. I thought, well, it'd be rude to be in the vicinity, because I was coming to visit our dear friend Verna, who taught with me at the school at Calvary Temple many years ago when I was the principal of the school there. And she was just apparently her prayers are being very much focused on
she's
your work.
a
Is that right?
real prayer. Yes. So she's been praying for us, but she's been praying for many aspects for the community for a long, long time.
Yeah, glory to God.
And actually, I forgot to mention John, who's sitting at the table with Tony. He was actually at the church at Calvary. He said, when you were there, was that in the 70s, Tony?
Yeah. Well, I'm not admitting to it, but perhaps he will. And I know Lorraine's not admitting to anything about her age either.
Everybody knows my age, Tony. I just turned 70.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
the cat is out of the bag. Oh,
Yes,
boy.
yeah,
So yeah,
I'd just
50.
like
Yeah,
to say something, Tony. I'd just like to say I remember the days Max and Sarah would come onto Raw and
Yeah.
pray for more team members.
yes,
Yes.
yeah,
And we would
yeah,
pray with them. And our God is
yeah,
such a faithful
Mm.
God.
yeah,
And we see now with such excitement how developed and how much you've grown. And we just give him all the glory because
Amen.
he gives us the desires of our hearts, and we can
yes.
celebrate with you, Max and Sarah.
Thank you. Well, we thank you. Yeah, we're very, very thankful for the prayer support and what we've learnt through these meetings and God's patience and everyone else's. We were not ones to be quick off the mark, but yes, it's exciting to see what God's doing. And yeah,
Well, there's a gentle and faithful persistence there. And you remember in the Gospel of Luke how it talks about the parable of the sower. It says, and these are they that bring forth a crop, some 30, some 60, some 100-fold, with
Yeah.
perseverance or with patience. And we've certainly seen that. But God is so faithful, isn't He? And look,
yes,
we referred to people who've been to your locality, and I've been there twice because I was drawn to visit Verna, and because she and Murray Louise were great friends. But here's Charters Towers, just there, and there's Townsville just probably behind that little marker. But how far is it, do you think?
136.
130k, yeah, it's about an hour and
130k,
15 minutes.
about an hour and a bit to get down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, depending, on a few
You go
things.
south and then west or something.
Yeah.
And then you got Bowen.
north.
There's someone from Bowen.
Yes, we're due.
Tell us about the person from Bowen.
Oh, yeah, because with the Uniting Church, apparently we're part of the Southern Zone up here. So Charters Towers was hosting the meeting on Saturday, the 1st of August. It does include out to Mount Isa, but that's a long way for someone to come. So we had some couple from a church in Ingham. They don't have a minister at the moment, but they came.
Right.
There's
So Ingham would be there. Yeah.
six uniting churches in Townsville, which we didn't know. So some
Right.
ministers came and some congregational members. That included an army chaplain, Tony. It's his
Yes.
area.
Yeah.
He's got great plans for he's a musician. He has great plans for reaching the youth. He's the troubled youth. They did something where he'd been before and started a brass band with all these troubled youth. So, but he didn't go. He didn't sign up for 12 as well. Anyway, there was this minister from Bowen there,
Yes.
and he had, I'm not quite sure how many years ago, but he come across AFJ, and actually one week instead of a sermon, he had shown or shared the way of life, and he said there were just people weeping. God really moved in that service, but then he's had major health issues, so he had plans to go, follow up more with it. And then we find out at the end when he leaves after church on Sunday, he's actually been an itinerant minister for a long time. So he has his mobile, he has his camper van. So we will follow up. He didn't say, yeah, I want to do it all now, but you can just see potential there. So, and 3 hours away, especially with all these people we've now got, it's not impossible to go there for a weekend and at least go out on the streets with him because he's still keen to share. He's seeing God use this presentation. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
prayerfully see what God might lead to do there. Yeah.
Well, it puts me in mind maybe a few other pastors have showed their congregation they might end up in tears too.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
so
Makes
that's a possibility. But
sermon
look, there's a whole
preparations.
region there opening up for you, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. So
Something like that.
we'll see.
Yeah, boy.
Um,
So we'll have. I know Lorraine will be very encouraging in that respect, and we'll discuss it with you later. But that's good. And thanks for being with us tonight. Just as a final thing, anything else you'd like to say?
well, I just wanted to give the figures. I know many people reach many more people than us, but we were really encouraged. We just totaled up the people we've reached, or God has, been reaching since we started. 183 people have engaged with us. 48 partial presentations, 135 full presentations, and 43 of them have been sinners' prayers. So that's 74 of the people we've engaged with, or the teams that engaged with, have gone through the whole presentation.
Wow.
Praise God.
That was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
encouraging. And
Just say those figures again, or maybe you'd like to put them on the chat box and Roger will
yes,
circulate
we
them
can
for
do
you.
that. But we also wanted to say, so that was over 4.5 years,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in the last 2 months, because we started giving our local church prayer team more specific feedback, because more and more people are getting involved in praying and supporting. So we've been giving them names and numbers to pray for. So since the 30th of May, there were two individual full presentations, one on Saturday and one after church another day, and 6 campaigns. But we reached 25% of that total figure of that number of people was in the last 6 campaigns, well, since the 30th of May. So there's obviously, so potential for increase, obviously, with all these campaigns. More people going out, and therefore we can go out more often.
Well, that's a really inspiring story. What
Yeah.
you got to add anything,
just
Rain, because you were up there doing some intensive training.
Is that me you're talking to, Tony?
That's right. Sorry, I might have got confused there, but because I know that Sarah's just finishing up, I was just saying it's a very exciting story. Have you got anything that you'd like to add? Because I mean,
Well, it was just amazing that that was our last Queensland training session. It was in Charters Towers, and it was all of the people in Queensland are just amazing, and I just loved visiting them all, and the new teams that are starting up. So
Yes.
yeah, it was a blessing to stay at Max and Sarah's house and to get to know them. They're gorgeous people, and yeah, we're just blessed to see that Queensland is opening up again.
Yeah, glory to God. Well, thanks for your efforts and thank Dave for his. But it was very heartwarming for Mary Louise and me to be there. Mary Louise was running a bit late for the lunch because she considers her time with Werner, her old friend. Well, I won't say old, her friend of a long time. Uh, she just wanted to be there, but she did join us towards the end, and that was lovely. And it was just a very exciting time. And sometimes people might wonder why we want to go through and rehearse these contacts we have with people. But that's a big part of it to do. And I might comment on it a bit later in our presentation today, because really what we want to have as a feature of our ongoing times is to focus on a particular group or region or leader or a group of people who are doing things. And the thing that's so admirable and so inspiring about the Charters Towers group is that they stuck at it. It was obviously God who had his hand on both Sarah and Max, and the fruit is starting to emerge. And it's just so wonderful to see Pastor Arthur involved and other members of the congregation as well. They were very exciting people to meet when we got together for lunch that day. So God bless you, everyone, and keep up the good work. Anything we can do to help you by way of prayer or other means, let us know.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. Thank you, everyone, for your prayer, support, wisdom. Yeah, patience. Thank you.